Hi, and welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I am Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And today, an early celebratory salute. I think I figured out the problem when it comes to my video setup. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I ran across that have made a huge difference here. But first, all right. So, I am working with what I've been saying is an 8-year-old laptop, but it turns out it's probably closer to 10. This is an Acer 7750. It looks remarkably like mine. In fact, it's exactly like mine. And it originally came with 4 gig of RAM. It had a 760 gigabyte hard drive. And for the time, it was pretty good. But I'm sort of like Tim Allen on Tool Time. I like to make things go bigger, faster, and better. So I had increased the RAM to 8 and 8 gigabytes, and boy, that was a whole different change. But then we went from Windows 7 to Windows 8, and then 8.1, and then to 10, and oh my God, did this thing start to bog down in a huge way. So that's when I started playing around with Linux. And it was running great. It was running great. Well, the problem is it has a built-in graphics card. It's an Intel. I think it's a 2000 series Intel driver or Intel graphics chip in there. And if it gets overloaded, it starts taking away from the processor. So, getting all geeky nerdy here. But the thing about it is that that's one of the reasons why my image would stutter so much whenever I was going from one web page to another, simply because it just doesn't have the guts. Now, what I videotape with is a Logitech C920 webcam. This is really nice. Okay, I like this camera a lot. It can do 1080p in 30 frames. It sets on the top of my monitor that I have over here, and my laptop is it's over there. Anyway, so it's really slick, and you can mount it on top of a tripod if you want to as well. So very nice camera. They're getting harder and harder to find, from what I understand, ever since everybody started working from home. But in Linux, there isn't a Logitech software like there is for Windows. Excuse me. And this is Logic Capture, which is great. I mean, this thing is wonderful. When I do use Windows and I put this camera on a Windows machine, I would love to see this for Linux, because this is just so easy and so nice to set up. But alas, you can't. And so what I've done from there is I had just basically gone over to OBS Broadcaster Software and tried to use their settings on the camera to try to make it better, and that didn't work out too good. So as you've seen in some of my previous videos, there were a lot of jump stuttering, freezes, things like that, and I started getting really desperate trying to figure out what to do. So I was turning off the compositor, which gives you the nice little window shadows that you can see going on right here in the background. It also stops things like screen tearing, which it doesn't get rid of it completely in XFCE, but it comes darn close. I also found out that if you go into settings and if you go into Window Manager tweaks in XFCE, there's the compositor. I did this a little bit wrong, but I've taken off all the extras, and I've just made sure that underneath the windows I've got the shadows. There's also another thing here called desktop settings. I changed it from the original, which was XFWM4 plus compositing, to XFWM4 plus Compton. Compton doesn't use as much resources as the other compositor, which I have actually since taken off. But I don't even mess with any of this stuff. You can if you wish. I just don't think it's necessary. But basically what it does is it allows me to have all the bells and whistles, less screen tearing, and it still looks pretty, and I can use it making a video with you right now. So I mentioned the Logitech software and how OBS here just it couldn't take the place. And I kept reading today, more and more people kept saying, if you're trying to use OBS on Linux, forget it. Especially if you've got a weak processor like what I have. So don't do that. So I started looking for alternatives, and I found one. It's called Webcamoid. Now, I've actually tried this before, and it works. It works really, really nicely. If I try to bring it up right now, it's going to try to take over the camera, which I don't want to have any issues with right now. But you can change everything from the contrast, the brightness, the gain, saturation, focus, white point. It's really, really, really slick. I think that first one right here, right? You can, well, can't make it stick, that's for sure. Anyway, that's part of the controls there. It does have some special effects if you want to get in there and start doing something weird. But the nice thing about it is that once you set it up in Webcamoid, your camera stays that way. So if I'm not going to be using OBS, because I did try to use Webcamoid to set up for OBS, and that was almost disastrous, I found this other one called VokoscreenNG, and this is VokoscreenNG for next generation. Yep, all you truckers out there, you're going to like that. Okay, so anyway, this is the main panel. I'm going to bring over my main panel right now. It's really simple. You take a look at the screen. You can do a full screen or just a window or just a simple area there. Click over here and you select your microphone input. You can determine how many frames you want to put it at. I'm making it simple for myself right now. I'm putting it down at 25. I could probably squeeze by at 30, but we're just going to try this to see how it works. I can let it know what format I want, the video codec, which is perfect, and the audio codec is the lossless FLAC, which I really, really like. So when I get to Audacity, it should import beautifully, and it should sound even better next time with this video when I set it up. Here are places like where are you going to store the videos. When I've got this minimized, where does it go? It goes up into the system tray. There's you can set it up on an hourly timer. What hour, how many minutes, stop recording after how many hours, how many minutes. This tells you what is and is not available so that you can work with your video editor to the best ability. And then this has to do with the software. Camera. I just select the camera that I'm using. I can actually flip it. Ooh, how about that? That's pretty cool. A little trippy. Not exactly what I want. We can go with the inversion. Do I look like an alien yet? Okay. I can make it gray. How many of you like that better? And I can also do black and white. Now, black and white looks horrible. I'm just going to warn you right up front. I am going to click it. Here we go. Oh my God, that's horrible. Look at that. It looks like a migraine. And then I can select the window size. If I can make it smaller, I can make it where I want it, 320 by 240. And if I had a media player going on right now, I could incorporate that as well. And then if you have any, if you want to find out more about the program and how it's set up, there you go. So anyway, this is VokoscreenNG, and it seems to be running and working with both of my monitors going at the same time, with a compositor running at the same time. You saw that I had at least 5 open tabs when I first came on. If I go to open up something like Audacity right now, it launches and there might be just the slightest little bit of stutter, but there isn't anything that's, out of control. And I like that. So I think I have found the tools that I'm going to be using for the videos from now on. I thought I would pass that along to you as well. Quick note, a little update about my son in China who's just passed his interview for immigration visa. They have put his visa in the mail. It's on its way to him. They said it might take up to 15 days, so I'll keep you posted. But I'm excited about this. I think this is really cool. So, don't drink and drive. Don't drive drunk. Don't go to eBay or Amazon and buy crap you don't need because you're drunk or inebriated or whatever you do to get yourself in an altered state, if that's what you do in the first place, but in which case I probably wouldn't have to warn you not to do it. I want to say bottoms up. Later, dudes.